I'm sure you guys have heard about the Ackman situation, but a new major development has just come out in the story, and this is the craziest part of it yet. So it recently came out that the Ackman's channel has been completely demonetized from YouTube for the Quantum TV drama, which is, honestly, it's very scary. If you have a monetized YouTube channel, this could happen to you. If it could happen to the Ackman with over 1 million subscribers for something so silly and nonchalant, then it could happen to you too. I'm taking a look at my analytics, and only like 2% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. And it's unfortunate because it just seems like YouTube is on the complete wrong side of this. When I first watched the Ackman's video about Quantum TV, this is silly drama that turned into something a lot worse than it actually was. If you didn't know, the drama started by Quantum and the Ackman disagreeing with like an Elden Ring opinion. And it goes from, the Elden Ring opinion to let's get this guy's channel deleted, and then let's get this other guy's channel completely demonetized. Basically means that he loses his job, which, yeah, the Ackman does YouTube for full-time income, and so losing his entire source of income just because silly internet drama over Elden Ring is just crazy, and YouTube needs more responsibility. This is insane of them to do, and the amount of evidence against Quantum TV and in favor of Ackman is overwhelming, but YouTube just doesn't seem to care, and I have my suspicions because of why. So last video I talked about how Quantum TV was basically trying to get deplatformed because he had he had dislike for LGBT people, and yeah, that's wrong, but it came out that he didn't just dislike them, he had like really bad thoughts about them. One of his previous tweets where he claims he was hacked, but I don't know about that. I'm not sure, especially because he's still making these remarks, 4 years after he was quote-unquote hacked, but he pretty much said he hoped there were more LGBT people that were involved in the Pulse Night shooting. And if you don't know what that is, it was a horrible event where a homophobic person went into a gay bar and started shooting and killed a lot of people, and Quantum TV pretty much said he hoped there were more victims, which is completely insane. Regardless of anything that Quantum TV has done, false copyright claims is horrible and he should be removed from the platform for that, sure, but if there were any reason to remove Quantum TV from the platform, do you not think him saying there should be more Pulse Night victims would be the thing? How is YouTube siding with this guy? I cannot fathom. And I think it's because he's hiding behind his religion. He's pretty much saying he doesn't like these people because, he has Islamic faith. I'm not exactly sure what the faith is called, but that's what I think it is. And of course, that's a shield he's hiding behind. It's crazy to say these things regardless of your religious beliefs. So, you know what? If you have a problem with gay people because of your religion, I disagree with it, but whatever. I don't have, I guess you have to have the freedom to have that opinion, but there's not liking them and not agreeing with their lifestyle, and then there's saying you hoped more of them were victims in the Pulse nightclub shooting. That is insane. That should be more than enough to remove him from the platform, but no, he's still talking about doxing people in his latest video that was just 4 days ago. How is YouTube siding with this guy? And another quick thing was, I watch a lot of Optimists, he's a great content creator, and he was pretty much saying, he's on the right side, he's pretty much asking YouTube to look into this, and he ratioed YouTube on Twitter, where YouTube was talking about something to check out on their Twitter, and he said justice for Ackman, and he more than doubled the likes, so he completely ratioed it, and instead of, responding or saying anything about it, they just deleted the tweet, which means they're actively censoring people who want to talk about, how YouTube is screwing over the Ackman. And he pretty much said in a follow-up video that he had a YouTube meeting where, him and YouTube would be going over things and having a meeting in a couple days. And then YouTube, days after he stated that publicly, that he would bring up the Ackman situation and, see what's going on, they canceled his meeting, which is just insane. I mean, I have no idea why YouTube is going out of their way to protect this guy. I mean, the problem is, I think they think if they censor Quantum TV, they're going to upset religious people. But the problem is, they're not censoring this guy who, wanted more Pulse Night victims on Pride Month. And that's just that's a instructional way to destroy your reputation. I mean, doing anything against the LGBT people during Pride Month is bound to get major attention. And this is a big one for YouTube. They claim to be super LGBT. Sure, they didn't change their profile picture like a lot of these weird woke companies, but they support them and they promote gay creators, and that's good and dandy and all. But the first time someone uses the religious shield to say there should be more gay victims during a shooting, they just protect him because they're worried about backlash from religious people, I guess. But I mean, I don't know how any religious person could see what he was saying, hoping for more people to suffer, and agree with him in any capacity. I cannot fathom how YouTube is somehow on the wrong side of this. I think they had the potential to do something about this. I mean, restrict them or do something, but yeah, as of today, the Ackman is still completely demonetized, which is insane. I mean, sure, I you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think the Ackman will be fine, because he can continue uploading on his YouTube channel and then just move his content to a premium service for something, maybe like exclusive videos or early reviews of games and stuff, and he can put that on like Patreon, and he can still make more than enough money. But it'll probably cut his income in half, and that's a big thing. It's not a small chunk of change. The Ackman's probably making thousands of dollars a month off just YouTube's, advertising, and now they've completely shut him off from that. And it's YouTube's. I want to say this is YouTube's fault, because they, honestly, when this first happened, I thought it was just because it was their bot area. And if you didn't know, they have a bunch of bots looking over people's content and monitoring it and seeing what needs to be taken down. And that always has problems because it's not a human. They can't tell the difference. It's just a bot. They might accidentally flag something. And that's what I thought the problem was. And then the Ackman got a manual review on his video that was pretty much calling out Quantum TV. And the manual reviewer is, as far as I know, 100% a real person. And they only watched 30 minutes of his hour-long YouTube video, and they still flagged it and gave him a community guideline strike, which is completely insane. And now that we know, even if the Justice for Ackman hashtag is trending across Twitter, I think it got like 20 to 30,000 tweets, so it's no small trending. It's trending worldwide. People are not on YouTube's side for this, for the most part, of public. And even if that happened, they're still siding with Quantum instead of the Ackman, which it doesn't make sense to me. It hurts their public reputation. Most religious people would side with them. Most LGBT people would side with them. The only people that would not side with him are like religious extremists who agree with Quantum, saying these extremely vile things. And I don't know why YouTube would want those kind of people on their side. It's all nice to, try to make everyone happy. That's, what a company like YouTube should be doing, I guess, because that makes the most financial sense. But this is not the kind of crowd that you want to make sense. It's not making YouTube any extra money. If anything, it's hurting them. I mean, removing ads and memberships from the Ackman actually does 100% hurt YouTube, especially because the Ackman is a major channel. He gets hundreds of thousands of views. There's videos within the last month of the Ackman's channel that have gotten almost 2 million views. So they're getting a lot of money from Google ad split or whatever, just from the Ackman. You know, they're losing a good chunk of change themselves, and then they also split the price of membership. So they're if you didn't know, he also launched all of his channel memberships, you know, so now they lose all the income from that, and I can't fathom why. I think they really need to address something like this, but something tells me they're just going to stay silent on this very important issue, and you just hate to see it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.